Hey guys, so it's day 2 of the 30-day challenge, and today is about something I feel strongly about. Um, there are plenty of things I could talk about here, because there are plenty of things I feel strongly about. I am a very opinionated person, and that's the way I see the world. I have opinions, and I'm not afraid to voice them. Obviously, there are some things that I have to be a little bit more careful about, but um, so I kind of decided I'm going to put two things together. I'm going to put. I didn't want to do bullying because everyone feels strongly about bullying, and everyone's had, or I'm imagining, and I'm hoping this isn't true, but I'm sure everyone's had a moment in their lives where they've experienced bullying, in some shape or form. So I didn't really want to talk about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about education. Bit boring, I know, but it's something I really do feel strongly about. And I think in this country especially, it's quite hard to get a very, I don't know, decent education without being put in debt, which I think is unfair. As you guys have probably guessed, I live in England, and we have to pay for university. And university fees have gone up in the last couple of years, which means on average we're paying about £9,000 to £12,000 for the top courses at the top universities, which, as you can imagine, most of the population can't afford. And that's before you even go into maintenance living, rent, food, socialising, and that's unfair. We go through school and we get GCSEs in secondary school, so ages 11 to 16. We come out of school with qualifications. We go to college. We come out of college with qualifications at 18. And from that, you could get a job, but you can't go into stuff like teaching, the really high paid jobs, which means you have to go to university and you have to pay these loans or these fees, and it's just not fair. I think, education should be accessible, and I've always said that. In schools it should be accessible to those who, to everyone, and that's by means of making lessons accessible to everyone in your class. It's making sure that people always feel accepted into a classroom, making sure all it's making sure all walks of life are able to, access the learning you have in your classroom. If you're stood up and you're teaching maths, for example, some students may not be as strong as other students, and then you have to cater for all of them. Everyone should get, or should be entitled to, a decent education. And I'm talking about university in Britain, but obviously this expands all over the world. Every child should have a right to education. Everyone should be entitled to a good education. And it is something I feel really passionately about, because obviously there is the fact that I want to be a teacher. But I just can't imagine a world where children don't go to school. And it happens. And I think it's disgusting. And I think, why should anyone have to pay or walk 4 miles to a school? It's just not right, and it's not fair. And there are plenty of things in this world that aren't fair. But a right to education, a right to clean water, and a right to good living standards and healthcare should be at the top of everyone's list. And we all say, we on YouTube as a community, we obviously have luxuries. And by luxuries I mean we have a camera or some kind of device to film on. We all have a computer or some kind of device to watch and upload videos. We have things we want to make videos about. But think of those kids that, maybe have a strong voice about something. Maybe they want to say something, but yet they can't access the media to do it. And it seems a bit, I don't know the word for it, but altruism, our countries demand or seem altruistic to other countries, third world countries, with the sense of comic relief, children in need, all these charities, and yet there's still people, having no water and having no right to education, and it angers me. And what also angers me is the fact we have kids here that skip lessons. You know, they don't have, you know, education for us is a given. You know, it's a second thought. We all go, oh, we all do it because, you know, we don't want to sit in a lesson about Shakespeare for an hour and 20 minutes. You know, we're all guilty of it, and I am too. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. But when you just think about those kids that want to go to school, you know, they do anything for a decent education, to have a voice. And in this day and age, everyone should have a voice. You know, we've all got McDonald's down the road. We've all got, you know, high streets full of stuff. We spend money on stuff we don't even need. And yet, you know, what if all of us gave up cars? You know, what if all of us gave up junk food? What if all junk food shops closed down? You know, and all that money that we wasted on it, you know, could go to the third world countries, and, you know, children could have an education. And it is something I feel really passionate about, and I'm part of the crew that thinks, yes, we need to sort out education in our own country, and at the moment it's ridiculous. We need to sort out problems here at home first, but then once we've done that, we need to sort out education everywhere else. You know, we get involved in all sorts of things, and that leads me on to my second point I feel very strongly about. We as a country at the moment, you know, I feel that this is my opinion, I feel that we concentrate too much on other countries. And I know I'm being a bit, you know, ironical, oh, what's the word, man? Oh, I can't think of it. Hypocritical of myself and what I've just said. But going on my point that we need to look after our own, we do. You know, there's poverty in our country, and I'm sure there's poverty in every first world country. And don't you think we should sort that out first? You know, it seems a bit wrong to, you know, ignore our backyard and then face the street when, you know, we could sort out our back gardens just as easily. And that's another thing, you know, with politicians spending so much money on forcing spending, well, you know, could you perhaps look at what's happening in your own country? You know, kids on the street. Why? Because it's boring, you know. They get drawn into drugs problem. You know, I know it's the culture, and my generation is partly to blame, you know. It's drugs, and I don't agree with it. That's my personal opinion. But, you know, they're all for going, legalise weed, woo! Why? You know, sort out everyone else's problems first before we start passing stupid laws that are going to cost us and our country, you know, millions of pounds. Yes, we could earn it all back on taxes. You know, these are all things I feel very strongly about. And if I went on and on and on, this video would be hours and hours long. So I've just raised a few points. And I hope, you know, it doesn't cause controversy or anything. Like I say, these are my opinions, and these are subjects that I feel very, very passionate about. And if you don't agree with them, then fair enough, you know, you're right, you're entitled to your own opinion too. But, you know, just think about it for a minute. And yeah, that ends this quite serious video, actually. I'm not sure whether I like this one. It's a bit serious for a Thursday. And can I just say, if the lighting's a bit off, it's so dreary outside. You know, it's horrible. Typical British weather. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just going up on my second channel. And if you don't follow my first channel, please go and check it out, because I'm going to be uploading a room tour. Probably tonight, actually, if I get it filmed. If not, it'll definitely be tomorrow. So if you want to check out my first channel, go ahead. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. Bye guys.